Yes, 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 yes. I am honored. Oh my God. This is Nicholas Tanner, your kinky friends, and everything tonight that we talk about is between consenting adults. We're adults. This is a lifestyle. This is a culture. Like I said, we're adults. This is for adults. It's by adults. Please don't judge. It's a very ugly quality to be so judgy. And there's a loneliness in this country. And I think that being judgy is contributing to that. So please, let's sit back, be cool, be kind, keep an open mind. This is your kinky friend. This is a cool episode tonight. Tonight, oh, we have a legend. We have a legend. I've talked about this legend many times. My guests, most of my guests have talked about this legend or what this legend has done or has been affected by something this legend is currently doing. This person is essential in the kink community, especially the American kink community. Sanctuary Studios, LAX, a true beacon in the kink community, an inspiration. And show utmost respect to the magnificent Mistress Cyan. Mistress Cyan, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you. And thanks for having me on. It's an honor.
Thank you. Thank you. Everybody, please go to yourkinkyfriends.com. Get 15% off all inventory at lockedin.com off of YKF. The best chassis device is the one that fits. Also, Cash App, please support the show. We need money. YKF Tanner, you can support it at Patreon/YKF. So let's just get into it. Mr. Cyan, what's inspiring you these days?
Oh gosh. Well, I think it inspires me is seeing our kink community come together, especially in a time that we're dealing with right now in the political environment with this administration basically trying to erase and eliminate a lot of aspects of our community and our lifestyle.
True. Very, 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 very true.
You know, when I usually at DomCon on the opening ceremonies, I do like a little keynote. I, try to inspire everybody to get out there and participate and do their civic duty, learn about 2025, what that project was, get people out there to vote because, Nick, what's happening in some areas right now is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, eventually it's going to reach the adult content providers. It's going to reach content creators. It's just something we can't stand back and be passive about.
100% true. I cannot agree with you. All right, last time we spoke was many years ago. It was many years ago. This is before my transplant. I was just starting Your Kinky Friends. And so I highly recommend people go to yourkinkyfriends.com and look up Mistress Cyan and see that video of me interviewing her. I look horrible. I don't know. I'm just going through this the kink community just like you. But this is art, and I capture the realness of it. All right, let's talk about DomCon. DomCon NOLA. It's hitting the streets, New Orleans, October 22nd to the 26th at Astor Crown Plaza. So let me ask you this. Before we get into it, how would you describe DomCon?
DomCon, I think, is a gathering of lifestyle people, of people who with common interests, yet we celebrate our diversity. So, we've got lots of different genders. We've got the different aspects of the community as far as, race, gender identity, sexual orientation, dom, sub, switch, you name it. If it's in the kink community, it's probably at DomCon.
This thing looks so awesome. I am so jealous. Unfortunately, I cannot go this year because of family obligations, but I cannot wait. I've been dreaming about some of this place. I mean, this whole event every year, and every year I get this sense of FOMO, this fear of missing out. So, what's the wildest thing you expect, or see, to hear, um, on Canal Street during this fetish fiesta?
Oh, probably the one thing that's unique with New Orleans compared to like the LA show, because both have the same kind of format, basically with classes, workshops, parties, socials, all those things. But the one thing that NOLA has is what's called the Second Line Parade, and
Yeah,
that is something that we congregate at outside the front of the hotel around 7 o'clock on Friday evening, and we have a band, and a police escort and stuff, and we've got probably 200 people in fetish gear, holding floggers, carrying pictures and of people who passed, and it basically is like a half-mile parade that goes through the French Quarter and back around and back on the Canal Street, which is one of the main streets in New Orleans, and comes back to
yeah.
the hotel. So it's really showcases our community and our kink, and it's a way of remembering those who we've lost that have been meaningful to us. It's a tradition in New Orleans, and it's been adopted by DomCon, and it's one of the highlights that people look for because it's the only place, and from what I'm told, DomCon's the only one that does anything like this of any event anywhere in the world.
It is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful tradition. I think it's very, very cool that Malcolm adopted that. All right, you have an epic lineup. So I wrote this down. You've guest of honor, Miss Ariel, Miss Chris. Shout out to Miss Chris spanking. Yeah, Ellis Strickland, Miss N Dom. If you could pick a team for a spontaneous scene at the con, and I'm talking a scene that could happen, of all the people that you got there, just be whimsical for a second. Who would be in it?
Oh my God. It, you know, that's a really hard one because we've had so
Yeah,
many fantastic people. I mean, every pro dom you've heard of or read about or has had any kind of impact in this lifestyle, in this industry, this community has been there. I mean, I don't know of anyone that I could ask for that hasn't already been there, and it may sound funny, but it's the absolute truth.
it's a great problem to have.
But,
All right.
but Nick,
Are
something,
you
there's so
teaching
much up
class?
and coming talent. If you
Yes.
ask me this question next year, we'll probably have an answer for you because there's new people coming into it. People are coming to these classes. They're learning their skills. We've got kids that are coming up that know social media a lot more than those of us who've been in it for 30 years. So, there's still stars of tomorrow that will be coming in the next year or two.
Speaking of classes, your classes are on some next level. I've teach classes myself. I've been to dungeon after dungeon. I've took classes, but you have some very, very innovative, very cool classes like intuitive tapping, needle play 101, scent training and pheromones with Mistress Cyan. So that's just some, right? But
Mhm.
personally, I mean, this is about you. I want to celebrate you and your personality. What classes are you personally hyped to either attend or teach or just to see?
Oh gosh. I mean, I'm looking forward to going to to doing the needle play class as well. There's so many things that, those of us that have been around a long time have done. But when we see somebody else's technique, it empowers us. It gives us even greater depth on what we do. But I kind of like the edge stuff. I mean, we had a class about 10 years ago that stands out. And it was a class I had no idea could even exist. And it was called liquid nitrogen play. And back in around 2000 and 90s and 2000, fire play, knife play, or all that edge play that you only saw once in a while. It's kind of become mainstream now. But this was somebody who actually did a class on how to incorporate the use of liquid nitrogen
Isn't
into
that
your play.
explosive?
Excuse me?
Isn't that explosive?
No, but it is dangerous. So
Yeah.
he went through about how it had to be stored, what you had to be careful with. But it was very interesting because he would put he put
Oh, I'm thinking of something else.
like a chain flogger into it and then took it out and kind of dangled it on your arm, and you couldn't tell if it was a temperature or if it was like a violet wand sensation. It was way different, and it stayed tingly for like 20 minutes afterward. But it's not something that I've incorporated into my dungeon or my play because I just feel like that might be a little bit too dangerous unless you're really trained in like chemistry and
Yeah.
things like that. But it was interesting.
I think that goes to the next question. Any of these classes that you've seen over the years, have you incorporated them into your own kink practice?
Oh
Did you
yeah.
learn something new? Like you're like, wow, this is cool. I learned something new.
Well, that I have to say there's something every single year that I learned from
Yes.
some class. But there was some really neat hot wax techniques that I saw in a class before that was like, wow, this is really neat. I like the way they use that and advanced their thinking about how to incorporate different types of wax and different types of applications to it, rather than just like dripping candle wax, but you putting wax in a little crock pot and using a syringe to kind of suck it up and lay it on the body and stuff. It's very interesting. So I'm looking forward to see what I learned this time.
That's what I think that's really the beauty of kink education is that people go in with kink, they want to learn and they go in just like me. I went into kink, I wanted to learn everything, even if I didn't like it. I at least wanted to know of it. I wanted to know about it, what makes people tick, do it. And I think the kink community really embraces that. And that's something that was beautiful. Speaking of other classes, uh,
And you don't know what you don't know. I mean, my
yes,
experience over the last 30 years has been not only myself that I think, oh, I wouldn't be into that. I try it and find out, oh my God, that's amazing. Or that, oh, I would love to try that. And when you try it, it's not what you thought it was. So having that open mind and being able to look at classes and explore, you learn about yourself. You open up to and learn a little bit more about what you thought you would like or what you didn't think you would like, and that exploration I think is something that's really important to all of us as well.
without a doubt. And the classes really do it. There's a class for newbies, which we're going to talk about. Some other classes of dominance and color with Mistress Mia Dark. Shout out to Mistress Mia Dark. She's been on the show. And the Commandant. Commandant and Mistress Mia Dark have been both on the show. Magnificent, awesome people, just great people, very intelligent. They know and beautiful, sexy as can be, but also knowledgeable. They have purpose, they have clarity.
Mhm.
You will leave their classes knowing something. Um, and then there's the art of glam. But my very good friend, the woman who did the theme song, Goddess Aurora, the newbie frenzy, finding your way. So let's talk about the frenzy. When I first met you, I had the frenzy in me, Mr. Cyan. I didn't know. I'm too embarrassed to look at that old interview.
Wow.
But well, it's been like I interviewed a lot of people, but like you were always such almost a mythical person in the kink community. Like everybody knows you, and you do have a lot of power. And so for someone who's new, wow, you get the newbie frenzy, and she's has a class. Goddess Arroya has a class called the newbie frenzy. So let me ask you this: with DomCon, what's the one piece of advice you'd whisper to a wide-eyed first timer just walking in DomCon?
Don't be intimidated, and attend the socials. The socials is where people let their hair down, so to speak, and it's themselves. And the one thing that's really nice about NOLA, is that, as I mentioned earlier, Los Angeles and New Orleans has pretty much the same format as far as what the event is, the 5 days and what happens. But the difference is LA is a much more high visibility, glitzy. I get people from all over the world. New Orleans is a lot more down to earth people. They're not as concerned about, hey, I'm not going to be in my latex every single day, every minute, because I care about what people think. They're really lifestyle people that are looking to connect, make friends, learn, and play. So I would tell a new person, just don't be too intimidated. Go to the socials, uh, introduce yourself. We have a newbie social that's geared strictly towards that for new people to come in and meet each other, and to our host kind of gives a little bit of guidance on, hey, this is what DomCon's about, and this is if you have any questions, or this is the best way to meet people. And we have something on a before the play parties, kind of a speed spanking type of event that's that people can come into before the play party that aren't partnered up, and just kind of go through little exercises and fun little things to maybe make a connection. So yeah, just don't be intimidated when we don't hit anybody unless they ask for it.
I talk to a lot of people, Mistress Cyan, a lot of doms, a lot of professional doms, and a lot of them are. I don't want to say they're starting out. Some of them are, of course, like
Mhm.
dungeons in the closet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it has to do something. At least you're doing something, right? um, so a lot of these very good friends of mine, they asked me to ask you this question: how does somebody with a modest dungeon, a small dungeon, who really can't afford the whole DomCon experience in LA, how can they still be a part of it? Because so before you answer the question, so you know, people around the world they have to take a plane or some kind of transportation to New Orleans. New Orleans is huge and it's a wild, legendary, historic city. So if you're not familiar with it, that could be a little overwhelming. And also, it's time consuming. There's expenses and stuff like that. So it can be very overwhelming if you're not familiar with New Orleans at
Yes.
all.
Mhm.
So how does someone who really wants to go? They have a small dungeon. They're a dom. They are a professional dom. They have a following, um, respected, but they can't afford to go, but they still want to be a part of it. What advice would you give them?
Well, I would tell them to contact us and let us know for a couple of things. One is if they're established, we do usually have a special opportunity for people within the industry to attend for free. Because again, when we started in 2004, it was all about bringing community together, bringing the lifestyle and the pros together, and also about education. So if you're practicing in the industry as a dom, sub, switch, whatever, you have some credentials. It's not just like, hey, I shoot some videos or things. And, we will go ahead and bring you in with professional courtesy. We have special guests and guests of honor. And if you're not one of those people and financially it's difficult, we have lots of volunteer opportunities to come in that you can from during that 5 days. You put in like 12 hours over 5 days, you can get a whole full weekend pass with the parties and everything. So it's always been the forefront of um, uh, making it accessible to people who want to be here and people who want to learn or people who want to meet people over the financial end of it. I've been criticized and actually over the years about, you know, why is it why you could do a lot more, you could get a lot more, you could do a hotel thing. It hasn't been about the money. It's been about doing something I felt that filled a niche in the community. Because if we had a video, when I first came up with contact with DomCon, it was because I was back in a group in a Yahoo group back in the 90s and early 2000s, and I got booted out and of a femnom group. And when I contacted the monitor, they told me I wasn't welcome because I was a pro. And it didn't matter. I'd been lifestyle for a decade before that. So that's when I kind of came up with it. I need to try to bring the lifestyle and the pros together. The pros think the lifestyle people are more hobbyists. The lifestyle people think the pros were all about the money and the clothes. And DomCon wanted to kind of
That's good. That was very smart statement.
and everybody told me it wouldn't work. I mean, I had naysayers that said the pros are never they're gonna run up each other. They're not gonna want to talk to each other. They're not gonna want to share. Lifestyle people are not gonna respect them. And that wasn't the case. Everybody came together. And after DomCon was over in 2004, people said to me, wow, the pros are really real people. And the pros were saying some of the classes that those lifestyle people did, they really know what they're doing. I learned a lot. So that was inspiring, and that was what the main focus of DomCon was back in 2003 when I thought about it.
So Wednesday night, there's a meetup at the Hustler Hollywood, then drinks and cafe. But Thursdays, there's a big after party.
Yeah.
What the Club Fetish?
Yeah,
Fetish.
Fetish. It's a French for fetish. And actually, Wednesday we just added too. After we have the little meetup at the Hustler, we're going next door to the Hard Rock, and we're doing going to have another social over there at the Hard Rock with people to come with a 20% discount for anybody with DomCon badges on food and drink. And then Thursday night we do the opening ceremonies, but after that we go down about 4 blocks into Club Fetish, and that's owned by a gentleman came from New York who was a rigger, bondage rigger. And last year, about a month before DomCon, I saw that this new club opened. So we connected up and did it there, and it was great. The main bar has got like a suspension rig and cage in there. And upstairs, he's got some additional rooms that's equipped with BDSM equipment. So for DomCon, we get drink specials. We can go in there and do demos on the with the suspension, or we can go upstairs if you got a DomCon badge and actually go up to the playrooms and have some fun.
And
that's before the public event for DomCon even starts on Friday.
Well, let's talk about toys. People bring things to DomCon. I go to any kind of event, dungeon. I usually have a bag. My people and I, we have bags or crates or whatever, it's like that. Everyone's got their own specialties. If you're into I love lingerie and femdom, stuff like that. So I always have any femdom related items, stuff like that. Some people like leather and they have all this leather. Some people are pups and they have all this, puppy play stuff or whatever your fetish is.
Mm-hmm.
But there's the basics. So what would you say is the essential NOLA DomCon play kit? What would be in that?
Okay, I think if you're in impact play, you definitely want to take and bring your flogger and a paddle, maybe a cane. Those would be the essentials. Of course, hand spanking is always great. You don't even need a bag for that. And there's so many different opportunities and methods of doing hand spanking and sensation play and stuff. If you're into like electrical play, I mean, you can bring a TENS unit, which is something small, or if it's a little bit more, you can bring like Violet Wand. You can bring some rope or some cuffs, put somebody on a spanking horse or on a cross and tickle them. I mean, the only limitation is really your imagination, and whatever turns you on, whatever you like, that's what you want to bring. And you don't have to bring 30 or 40 different toys, because a lot of people come into DomCon don't have that kind of budget, or they don't have that kind of thing. But you can bring a couple things, and if you don't have the bag, bring your hands and do some spanking, do some tickling, do some sensation play. There's and if you're not sure how to do that, there's people there that will help you.
You have a class called Strategic Planning, Finding Success as a Professional. Oh, Mistress Cyan, I need all the help I can get as a professional. All right, what I'm doing, how can, just before we get on with it, you are teaching a class, so you have the knowledge, and you impart some of this knowledge to me. How can YKF become a success financially?
Well, it's probably already a success, but how can it be bigger? Well, what I do in my strategic planning class is I had kind of use what I learned in the corporate world as far for strategic planning, and it's something called SWOT, S-W-O-T, and it
Yeah.
stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And when you go through this activity, uh, when you're finished with it, you can use all the things you've listed as your strengths and put a total promotional program, all advertising, how you're going to promote yourself, how you're going to market yourself by the things that you list in there. The weaknesses part, you look at, okay, this is where I need some help. You take and start setting some short-term, long-term goals on how you're going to turn those weaknesses into strengths. Uh, recognizing your opportunities, what opportunities are available to you, what can you capitalize on that you might not already be using. And then threats is the aspect where what can keep you from succeeding, what could be a problem. And that can be anything from something you're doing to something like, is this administration going to shut down content providers? If it does, what if I want to be prepared for that? What am I going to do? What are my alternatives? How am I going to get around that? And that's when I teach these DOM subs and switches in there, is that if you really put the structure together and take some of the business aspect of things on there and do some strategic planning, you can set up your short-term goals and also your long-term goals to set yourself up that, somebody might say, well, what am I going to do when I get old? I can't. You know what? You can go into production. You can go into consulting. There's so many things, but that I'm going to take that class through all these different processes and then show them when we're finished how they can incorporate that into their short-term and long-term planning for success.
I have to give a shout out to Chi. Oh, Dominic Chi. She's pretty amazing. Yes.
Oh yeah.
I want to talk about sponsors. All right. Who are the sponsors? Who are the sponsors who are basically helping make this happen?
Well, we got an organization called Bad Dragon. Adult toys. We have AVN, Hustler of Hollywood, The Hard Rock, Just for Fans. Those are pretty much our major sponsors. The Stock Room has been a long time sponsor. For people in LA, that's really our marketplace.
Yes.
And online as well. And then we have a lot of sponsors that come on board, to like Mistress J, who's doing the ProDom Social, who come on board and sponsor individual events. Mistress Leanne is sponsoring the Mistress T and the Pet and Pony Show that we have on Saturdays, Human Pets and Ponies.
These sponsors make this event happen, right? A lot of people don't know that they don't just fall in your lap, right?
No.
How do you get sponsors?
Well, I try to reach out to people and let them know what the event is about, and if they're interested, how we can get them. And we do have a sponsorship deck, but the thing is, most people that I've experienced is that doesn't fit always into like oh yeah, I'll take this package. It's finding out from them what is your goal? What would you like to see as a result of your sponsorship? And what is your budget? Let us tailor something to it. Let us kind of take what we have and all the different things as far as is it brand awareness? Is it just you want that logo and that brand out there? Is it something that's going to come back more immediately as far as sponsorship that's going to include a booth and things that can generate immediate revenue for you? So I have some sponsors that are just interested in supporting the community. So with those sponsors, we tell them that not only is it helping the event, but part of your sponsorship will go to rooms for the volunteers. Some of the volunteers that are flying in, or some of the volunteers that are working. We'll put some of your sponsorship into financial help so that somebody has a room to stay in if they need it, and so on. So it's kind of tailoring it. But we're always looking for additional sponsors to the more
That goes to my next question.
Mhm.
What are some sponsors you want that you don't have? We could use this show to get them. What,
Oh,
what are some
okay.
sponsors that you'd love?
I would love to get like Exotica on board.
Mm,
I think because AVN, we have a great working relationship with AVN and stuff. I think we would work really well with Exotica. They have their kink fetish area. Um, we're seeing a lot more crossover over the years from people coming from the adult, the porn industry, and even the swinger community into BDSM and kink. So I think something that draws a different market. Like this year, we got the Seattle Fetish Ball has come on board with and wanted to sponsor. So, we put together kind of like a sponsorship partnership where they're coming on board and doing some sponsorship with DomCon, and then we will reciprocate and do some sponsorship with Seattle Fetish Ball in March.
do you have any vanilla sponsors?
Uh, mm, not that I can really think of. I'll tell you right now, more than ever, because of the current administration and the DEI, there's a lot of vanilla sponsors that are afraid to get associated with anything that's outside of
Yes.
the mainstream Christian right Republican format. Uh, because this, as you know, this administration now has made it okay to hate, okay to attack, and stuff. So unfortunately, I mean, I've had some vanilla organizations and companies that were interested, but just had to say, we can't. This whole war against DEI and anything that's outside the norm is just too dangerous right now.
Mm. That's why kink helps kink people. If you're a kinky company, you gotta support kink. Kink helps kink. Even if you're not a company, just a person. Kink helps
Oh,
kink people.
and
So
any little bit, helps with, like I said, if somebody just contributing as a friend that, we'll put it towards helping someone who can afford something. So,
what about like local pushback, as opposed to LA? LA versus New Orleans, different culture, different vibe.
well,
Same different culture, different vibe. What is
I
there any vanilla pushback different in LA than it is in New Orleans?
no, matter of fact, I joke around, tell people the only problem with New Orleans is it's surrounded by Louisiana. Um, New Orleans is very, very progressive, and we don't.
Yeah.
In fact, in some ways, tell you a quick little funny story. Usually with DomCon in LA, is so packed. When we have a couple of thousand people that do LA, and at some of the socials, it wouldn't be out of the ordinary for us to receive a phone call at the, like at the Pro Dom social or something saying, "Hey, we got to keep it down a little bit." We got 70 or 80 people in the presidential suite. Uh, well, the first year down at New Orleans, we were in the social, and I get the phone rings. I'm thinking, oh, here it is. They're going to tell us to quiet down. And I pick up the phone. They said, "Oh, this is the front desk. That we understand you're having one of your socials." And I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Well, we'd like to send up a gift basket for you guys." I was like,
Yeah.
"This is great." And then the other thing that to give you an idea how different it is, um, the first time, for the very first DomCon, when we went down there, we were going to go out afterwards down the French Quarter, and I had my slave Remedy. She was decked out head to toe in latex. I had her collar and leash on her. I had a single tail whip in my hand, and her key was having problems with her room. So we stopped at the front desk, and so to get her key redone. And in 2015, I had undergone cancer treatment, so I needed to have water. So I had this bottle of water. So the desk person goes over and he, does her card, and he looks at me and he goes, "You're drinking water?" So it's just like, it's just surprised we didn't have like a daiquiri or something,
Yeah.
no clue, nothing about the whip, nothing about the latex, this collar and the lead, none of that stuff. I was just so surprised I was drinking water. So
Power of
New
alcohol.
Orleans and the French Quarter has been awesome.
Okay. One thing I did want to, we have a question from a friend of the show. I guess it goes with the pushback or something like that. What about thirsty, curious vanilla people who like work at the hotel? Is that ever an issue? Like who they want to be a part of it, be like, no, you need a ticket, or just like does that ever happen? Do you get people who just like who are just like work there who want to be now just want to be a part of it, but they can't because they're working there? I
Oh,
can imagine that. Be like,
absolutely. Matter of fact, when we first did DomCon, when we, like, for example, at the Hilton, this will be our 20th year in a row at the Hilton LAX. And they said to me, they said, because this is an adult nature, we want to make sure that our people, none of the employees are offended. So what we're going to do is we're putting out a notice to all the employees that if they want to have time off during that, that we will give them the time off. After the first year, the second year, they told me, said, now we got to put a notice out there for the people who want to be here because there's so many people who are interested. And, we comp a lot
that's
of
awesome.
but the one thing that the hotels do is they want the people who are coming to do it in their off hours, not during work. So, if they're, a lot of the hotel personnel will take it, we'll comp them in, for, when they're not at work. And when we walk through the hotel, last year we walked into the door of the hotel at New Orleans, the person over, would kind of work the door until he's like, my people, you're back. Thank good.
That's that's so cool. Um, all right. Then finally, I want to talk about safety. Safety. Some people are very hesitant to go to New Orleans. Safety issues. I'm not going to name any names, but I've been to a couple events. I've been to like Jersey is not always the safest place either. I've been to a couple places events where I didn't feel safe, or the hotel like there's water dripping from the ceiling, and then like there like see yeah there's some not cool events out there, but they got the fire at least. They're trying to do something. You take it to another level. I mean, I've never heard anything bad about it, about the Hong Kong, except maybe it's like, oh, it's wild, it's too crowded, or something like that. There's so many people, which is a good thing. So, for anyone who's concerned about safety of going to DomCon NOLA, what would you say to that?
I would tell them, I would probably ask them, what is it they're concerned about? This will be our 10th year in a row in New Orleans. We did the first 12 years in Atlanta. And then this will be our 10th in New Orleans, and we've never had really an altercation. Well, I tell you, we had one time where somebody, in the French Quarter, they have a lot of street musicians and stuff, and we had somebody who uh, got into an argument with a person who was drumming, and they grabbed this person's drumsticks, which they were in the wrong to do, and this person got up and hit him, and that was the extent of it. But the fact is that we expect people to respect us. We have to respect them too. And it's a two-way street, whether you're going to a munch or whether it's in there. And we have never been hassled or had any problem with anybody causing trouble with us uh, down there. The hotel is supportive. Uh, the uh, the French Quarter is very well patrolled with law enforcement and stuff. Yeah, they're there not to mess with people, but to make sure everything is safe. I don't know if for anybody who hasn't been down to New Orleans, when you go into the French Quarter, it's like nightclubs and bars. Every 30 feet, it's a restaurant or a bar that's got the genre of music. You can go down there and you can hear jazz, you can hear rock and roll, you can hear country, you can hear ambient dance, whatever it is. And the streets are closed off to traffic, so it's all foot traffic. So they're down there just to make sure everybody stays safe. We've never had any never been concerned about our safety.
So with DomCon, right? There's the education,
Mhm.
there's the parties, there's the the scenes that you could be a part of. There's random hookups you can be a part of, and then there's romance, everything you could think of. But if you were going to lasso one person in with one selling point, one major sell, what would it be?
You mean to tell somebody what the main thing would be community. Community.
Yeah.
You're going to meet new people. You're going to see, if you've been around, you'll see people that you already know. But it's about community, about people coming together and not judging you for what you're into. We can have somebody that's wearing, a costume. We can have somebody wearing latex leather. We can have somebody in lingerie. We do a pageant, for people who are not, who gender, I hate to use the word like cross-dress or something like that, but whatever gender you are, we have a pageant on Sundays for that that we've done. So whatever your interest is, whatever your kink is, whatever your curiosity is, you're going to meet people who are like-minded, and you're going to walk away with new friends. And if you're in the business, you're going to walk away with new people you've networked with in other cities that will invite you to come work at their place, or if you're visiting, that they will help you out and so on. So that one word would be community.
It's so beautiful what you created. It really is. Then there's a come down. What are post events like?
Oh, you mean the play party?
There's the main event, and then but then there's post events.
Oh yeah. Well, like I said, on Wednesday and Thursday we're doing the things offsite. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Once the convention closes, we have like a meetup type of thing on Friday night for people who are so looking to meet another Dom or somebody who's looking for a sub and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a speed dating type of networking. We've got play parties, which we got one ballroom that's totally equipped as a dungeon. So there's a stage, there's crosses, there's banking horses, there's suspension rigs, all kinds of bondage tables, all kinds of things. We bring in our own sound system. We bring in lighting, so it's all subdued lighting with colors and stuff. So you can watch people performing on stage with scenes, or you can roam around the dungeon watching other scenes or participate in play. Saturday night we have Sunday night we have an after party where the convention closes at 6. We have the VIP social upstairs for people from 6:30 to 8, and then from 8 to midnight we have an after party. And then quite often, a lot of the people that come down decide to leave on Tuesday. So a lot of people get together on Monday after the convention's over, for dinner, or for doing a riverboat tour or a bayou tour or things. So, those things aren't organized by DomCon, but those are kind of organically come together with people who are attending and meeting each other.
22 years. As DomCon hits 22 years, what's a standout memory? Now, it's not the be all, it's the first thing that comes to your mind, the standout memory, 22 years.
Oh, God. I think the standout memory is just the very first DomCon in LA. We couldn't find a hotel or anything like that. We had finally got the Beverly Garland, a hotel from the Holiday Inn chain, to go with us. And Mistress Precious out of Houston was one of the first ones to come and book. She booked the presidential suite, right? So she comes to check in, and she comes back down to the desk and says, "I don't know what's wrong with my room. It's got like a big boardroom desk in there with chairs." And they're like, "Oh, that's a police convention here. They're up there because the domination convention is going to be down here." It's like, "Oh, okay." So we're thinking, "Oh, wow, are we going to get messed with?"
Yeah.
No, we did not. Everything went fine. Matter of fact, the fire department heard about DomCon, and the firemen came down with their fire engine, and out front the DOMs and everything were all posing with the firemen and sitting on the fire truck and stuff. And it's too bad that they got in trouble because when the pictures got published, and the city got
Oh
on
no!
them and said, "You guys can't be doing this on, county, county
Government
equipment."
property. Yeah, yeah.
The
Oh, that's
firemen,
beautiful, though. Oh my God, I kind of want to see those pictures now. Yeah, I do, really do. Want to see. All right, for DomCon, because this episode is really about DomCon. We're gonna get really wild in a second, but what's next? So, 2025 happens in NOLA. What's next? What's after that?
well, right after that, obviously, we're working on LA, but right before the pandemic, okay, about a week before or so, I was preparing to sign contracts for DomCon Amsterdam, and I got a phone call from the hotel in Amsterdam. They're like, "We got this thing called COVID that they're shutting the hotel
Oh,
down." So that changed everything. But my goals right now is to bring DomCon to Europe and Australia. And in Europe, what I would love to, just like we do two in the States, I would love to be able to do two a year in Europe and kind of move them around, like go from Amsterdam to Berlin and then from London to Paris and kind of circuit that. Um, so that's kind of in the long term planning of it.
do you have
Short,
anybody in mind for Europe? Because I've been the shows like I've got people in Europe. Um, I want to be a part of the connection. So if I can make this happen, please let me know.
I will definitely do, because I'm 71 now, so it's not something that I feel like it's and I've already got so much on my plate. I'm in the board of directors for LA Pride and the board of directors for LA Leather Pride. I work with AVN, I work with Torture Garden, Sanctuary, and then both DomCon. So my bandwidth is going to be limited. Plus, sooner or later, I'm probably going to retire. But I'm having too much fun now. But
Yeah.
so I am looking to connect up with people in Europe that are either doing events or we're looking to collaborate or license or something. I'm totally open to it, but I get too many people from Europe that can't make it. During the pandemic, we did DomCon virtual twice for LA and for NOLA. And the people that logged on for the classes and all the social stuff from like Morocco and Czechoslovakia and in all places in Europe were like, "Oh God, thank goodness, thank you for this. We just would love this, but we can't afford to fly to America and all those expenses and stuff." So uh, we would like to be able to bring it in there. And the next thing I'd like to do is I want to start doing something with our classes that we can start live streaming maybe some of our classes live so that people who are not in attendance at the event can log on and attend virtually.
Awesome. That's great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love what you're doing and you're still doing it, what you've been doing. Like I said, I was in the hospital through the liver transplant, and this show really helped. The show saved my life in many ways. The kink community saved my life. Other surgery saved my life, and love of many people saved my life. But this helped in such a magnificent way. And a lot of this was all your work. I mean, seeing people go out and DomCon, like people, and then people can't go, and they're really missing out on it. They were there last year, and they're trying to get through. It's become such a part of the culture. It's become such a part of American kink culture, and not just that, but like around the world, it's known. You know what I mean? It's the place, it's the spot. So, okay, let's give some advice. Rapid fire kink advice. Okay, rapid fire kink advice. All right, this is gonna start off slow. Right? You restrain someone and their arm goes numb. You do.
And what was that again?
You restrain someone and their arm goes numb. What do you do?
Oh, cut the rope.
All right. Rapid fire kink advice. Rapid fire kink advice. A kinkster shows up to an event way too high. What do you do?
Refuse to play.
Rapid fire kink advice, Mr. Cyan. A sub met someone else online and wants to give them all of their money, all of their money. What do you tell
Tell them that if we had a real value, they wouldn't be asking for that.
them? Yes, yes. Rapid fire kink advice. Rapid fire kink advice. A sub just keeps on talking about politics that you don't agree with and just doesn't stop. How do you address it?
Put a ball down.
Okay. All right. I don't know if you run in these circles, but the kink community is large. A kinkster, you know, is talking about robbing a sub. What do you do?
Oh, um, first thing I would do is talk to them about ethics, and if they didn't agree, I would, if I knew the sub, I would talk to the sub and give them a heads up. We're responsible for protecting each other.
Sanctuary LAX. This is more about DomCon, but I got to mention Sanctuary LAX. So, what's next for Sanctuary LAX?
Just making it bigger and better. We've, we were able to buy the building we're in now, so we're constantly trying to make new improvements and make it bigger and better, and uh, and that's it. I mean, it's this is we'll be going into our 27th year in January of being in business. So it's just keeping a focus on it, teaching the girls to be better and uh, to be better professionals and more successful.
It all seems very overwhelming to me. Going to DomCon seems overwhelming to me. If there are many people just going to Sanctuary LAX can be overwhelming. I'm a kinky motherfucker, so I love both. But I enjoy the overwhelming aspect of it. But you running it, what's the key to running both? What's the key to keeping them both afloat? I mean, there's so many people. There's money. There's other people. Then there's laws and there's health and there's this and that. How do you run both?
To be organized, self-discipline and organization. Um, Realizing what I can do and what I can't do and what I can't do, finding the people that can do it to bring them on board to help. Know your limitations, and I guess just take advantage of the skills and what you do know, and accept what you don't, and find a way to make it happen. I come from the corporate world originally, so I kind of have that organizational mindset.
Totally, yeah, SWOT. It totally shines everything you say. All right, dungeon problems. You have a dungeon, Sanctuary LAX, and this could be anything. Like I said, this is for the culture. It's to help out other people with dungeons. So, when was the last time you had a dungeon problem? What was it? How did you solve it? That could mean anything that happens in a dungeon.
Well, the last time we had something was basically just a matter that somebody had either shown up and had drank before they came in, so it hadn't hit them yet. But when they were in there, it started hitting them. They were becoming a little bit rude, a little bit loud, and instead of getting angry with them, my DM pulled them off to the side and told them that, your behavior right now is a little bit disruptive, and that I would go ahead and ask you to leave. And if you don't, then I'm going to have to go ahead and escort you out. That was at a play party. Professionally, we had a client that came in about 2 months ago, and he negotiated with one of the girls. And when they went into the session, about 10 minutes into it, he started trying to pressure her to do things that she didn't want to do. So she called the session. And he came up and said he demanded his money back because he didn't get what he wanted to get. And I told him that, they had the opportunity to talk in advance and find out what he was looking for, what we could do and not do. And he chose not to disclose that and put that pressure. So she called the session. And I told him, I said, I'll be happy to refund you for the amount of time in the dungeon, the rental aspect of it, but I'm not going to refund you the fee for the mistress. Okay, you've kind of fucked that up. And he started this whole thing about, well, I'm not going to leave until I get my money. And I told him, I said, you can leave Or if you choose not to, I'll call the sheriff and they'll come in and remove you. Because one of the nice things is we're very transparent. The city, the county, the sheriff, the chamber of commerce all knows that sanctuary exists. They know it's a dungeon. They know it's BDSM. Yeah. So in situations like that, we're not afraid to have law enforcement. They're very supportive of us. Uh, with the homeless situation, we had at one point some motorhome parking out front. Now we call the sheriff. They're down to 20 minutes telling them that they have to move. It's a business location and stuff. So that's how we handle it. Just calmly try to de-escalate and solve the problem.
Yes. Ah, thank you for that wisdom. All right, AI and kink, Mr. Cyan. How are you evolving with it?
I don't know yet. Actually, I'm still learning. I mean, we've used Chat GBT to kind of, hey, here's a description of our party or our event. Is there a better way of stating it or writing it up or promoting it or so on? But that's to the extent of it so far. I'm personally a little overwhelmed with it because I feel like it's moving so fast, as fast as I can keep up with it. And with everything on my plate, I haven't had the time to really delve into it and find out about what it's really capable of.
I just right before the show, I saw Mr. Rogers and Tupac Shakur rolling a joint together.
Oh
So,
my God.
yeah, AI is a trip.
Have you been able
All right,
to incorporate it in what you do?
I do it every single show. Every single show. It's somehow, some way, AI is involved in my life every single day. I don't embrace it. It's just something that it's a tool.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not all into it. I'm studying, but it's definitely, it's like the internet. It's something that you're going to have to deal with.
Yep.
You might as well. That it is what it is. All right. This is a fun show, Mr. Cyan. Would you rather? Now, this says a lot about you, personality wise. Okay. You have to choose one. You can't choose both. You have to choose one. Would you rather? All right. You go into a session. Do you want a session all psychological or all physical? One of the other.
I would say all psychological because the biggest sex organ is between your ears. So if you do the psychological, the body follows. It will become physical. So I would say psychological.
Would you rather? Would you rather, Mr. Cyan? Would you rather experiment with a new kink or do the standards?
Um, if it's within a session, I stick with the standard stuff that I know I enjoy.
Would you rather? Would you rather a detailed planned session or a spontaneous session that just happened?
I'm a little bit more into the spontaneous because I think that's a little bit more.
Nice.
I think if something that's planned is like having a laundry list, and it doesn't feel genuine or authentic.
Yeah. Would you rather? This is the last one. Would you rather sensory deprivation, blindfolds, earbuds, or sensory overload, feathers, ice, water, hot wax, music, noise?
Sensory overload.
Yeah.
I love
Oh, yeah.
I love getting the responses from that I get from it from people. So that pushes my
The
buttons.
confusion, especially the confusion. All right, so you, Mr. Cyan, you said you're in your 70s, correct?
Yeah, 71.
71. I just turned 50. And now more than ever, I'm dealing with self-care rituals. I wake up in the morning and no phone, water instantly. I just ball a guzzle water, and I do some yoga, I do some working out, and I do a lot of daily affirmations. I write my own narrative for the day. You know what I mean? Set the tone, so to speak. You look amazing. You do so much. Still, what self-care rituals do you do to make Mr. Cyan?
Well, for one thing, I've never in my life have I ever smoked anything. Nothing. Not even tried something. I try to live healthy as I can. After my cancer, I realized, you know, being faced with mortality, that when I came back, it was like, okay, I got to stop. I mean, I enjoy doing what I do, so it's not like work. It's like because I enjoy it. People said might call it a workaholic, but I told myself, you know what? I got to commit to getting 8 hours of sleep. I got to take in when at the end of the night, if unless it's absolutely necessary, when I stop working, I need to like just sit down in front of the TV or something and relax. Um, you know, make sure that I don't get too much stress in my life. You know, if it's something I can deal with it. If I can't deal with it, don't worry about it. Um, and you know, drinking more water, trying to do a little bit more walking, um, and that all those kind of things that keep me focused and keep me uh, and also yeah, keep in a positive mind and not do anything that I don't want to do, because that's when you start to get burned out. And I just haven't been burned out. I don't want to get burned out. I want to keep enjoying what I'm doing, be passionate about what I'm doing. And if I ever have a day where I just don't feel like doing it, then take that day off.
Definitely. Also, energy, like these, like you said, think positive thoughts and um, yes, your perspective is important. Energy, the energy you put out, energy is a transaction. And I try to start my day like having the discipline to start my day with positive energy is has truly helped. Now, this is an interesting question: the magic wand misconception. All right, let's say you had a magic wand, Mr. Simon. Right? You had one spell. You change any misconception of sex work, of female domination, of DomCon, of sanctuary LAX. You have a magic wand misconception. You got your hands on it. You wave it. What's the one misconception you want to change?
That people would associate BDSM with pleasure and not pain.
All right. All right. I gotta do this. This is a staple of the show. Okay. Mr. Simon, and I'm gonna take myself out to give you full attention. All right, for when you answer it. Just so you know. Let's say you're given endless resources. You can go anywhere in the world. You could pick and choose every single person that you want to be with. What is your ultimate kinky fan?
Oh my God. It would be probably to go to Ireland, where my mother was born, and try to and visit that location, and then connect up with the community in Ireland, and make a connection, because I do have dual citizenship there, and who knows, I may end up being there someday.
Right. We have some people in the chat. Fetish artist. Yes, salutations. I love fetish artists. He's awesome, Jay. Sunshine says, welcome, Mr. Cyan. Thank you so much for making the time to be on the show.
Thank
We are
you.
honored. All right. It's up there with the fan. Rapid fire recommendations. They don't have to be kink related, just to give us an idea of your personality. Recommend a film.
Oh gosh, film. Oh my God.
Does that be the be all end all? Just something. Hey, Nick, you probably like this.
Let's see. Oh, I'll have to say, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, excellent. Yes, I love Queen. And now I'm writing this new book called The Coolest Way to Save Your Life. Yes, read a book, people. Very important. And Queen plays a major role. That movie, Remy Malek's amazing in it. All right. Recommend a book.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yes. Recommend a meal.
A meal. Steak and lobster.
Steak and lobster. All right. Okay. Like I said, we're getting through this, but this is the whimsical part of the show, the word association game. Now, all right, I'm going to say a fetish or a kink. You say the first thing that pops in your head. All right, there's no wrong answer. If I say chastity, you might say law. Right? If
Okay.
I say chastity, you may say To Kill a Mockingbird. There's no wrong answer.
Okay.
Okay. But then we got the jar. I don't know what's going out of this jar. There are pieces of paper. Hang a blue, I love you. And it's just Natasha. The jar open up again. Little pieces of paper. I don't know what I'm pulling out. So we're in this together. Mistress Cyan. All right. All right. Rap word association game. First word that comes to your head. First word or phrase. Chastity.
Love it.
Leather.
Erotic.
Face slapping.
Sexy.
Scarification.
Intense.
Splashing.
Messy.
The 50s housewife dynamic.
Oh, not for me.
The daddy baby girl dynamic.
Not for me.
All right. CBT.
Fun.
Fun. Yes. CBT. Okay. Let's go into the jar.
Okay.
Pagan sex.
Pagan sex, always.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Hold hard. All right. What do you got here? Oh. Ambience.
Ambience?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Ambience. Sensual.
Whipping. Whipping.
What was that?
Whipping.
Oh,
Whipping.
hot.
Hiss.
Favorite.
Scat.
Limit.
All right. Finally. All right. You're doing well. You have DomCon. You have Sanctuary Alex. You are a legend. Not everyone has your experience. Not everyone has your brains. Not everyone has your hustle, your insight, your foresight, your kinky fire. But still, they need to get paid. They need to survive. They need to get tickets for DomCon. So, how can kinky people make money in these times?
Oh gosh, there's so many different ways. Right now, people can basically with their phones, they can start doing content. I mean, they can. There's a market for everything out there. Whatever you can imagine, what you like to do, there's somebody who's going to like to watch it. So there's a lot of things like loyal fans, just for fans. Clips for sale. There's a lot of opportunity for anybody who wants to start it. It's a lot of work. This industry is not one that, oh, hey, you just start something and they will follow. You have to market yourself. It can get very saturated, and it can be very lucrative, but it can also be something that you will fail at if you're not willing to work for it and put the effort out and invest in yourself, whether it's time or money.
What advice would you give to yourself that you wish you learned soon?
What advice would I give to myself?
Yeah, that you wish you learned sooner.
Probably to do a little bit better as far as like my long-term planning, like financial end of things. When I left the
Me too.
corporate world, I in the corporate world, I had a 401k, I had a company car, I had expense account, and all these things. And when you become independent and you do these things, you don't no longer have those things. And I can say, and this is advice I give to the younger doms and stuff and they're like that. When you're younger, start putting get that life insurance policy, get that retirement plan that you can put $25 a month away because it adds up. It took me a lot longer to learn that lesson, and I'm not going to be as set as I would like to be. So that's something that if I had advice for myself, I would start sooner.
That's excellent advice. Absolutely excellent advice. Oh, we got a question. Michael, Brzezinski 1137. Hi guys, question for Mistress Cyan. Have you ever socked a guy in the nuts? And when sacking a guy in the nut sack, do you prefer boots, fist, heels, electric play, or something else?
Boots. I love doing ball busting, and I've taken a lot of classes, had a lot of training in it, so I know how to do it safely. We can do it by and inflict pain, but not do harm.
That reminds me of this question. What's the one fetish that you'll never get sick of?
Impact play, because
Oh, yes.
I understand, what all the physiological things that's happening in the body and all the biochemical things that are happening in the brain, that triggers our primal instincts about releasing endorphins and becoming a high. And I get off. I get off on bringing somebody pleasure with, that we're bringing that pain and that pleasure threshold together, that they become one. And I can do that with impact play. So I will never get tired of that.
Impact play. Let's talk about impact play for a second. Right, you got whips, you got floggers, you got canes, you got riding crops. That's one of my personal favorites. You get your hand, impact play toy, right? If you choose only one, stranded on a desert island, for some reason you're stranded with an impact play toy and a bunch of subs, but you're like, so stupid. But no, what's the one impact play toy that you can't live without, so to speak?
Oh, I think undoubtedly it would be the flogger,
Yes,
because I can hit
I've
with
learned. I've learned to truly appreciate the flogger, especially how it just kind of glides over the skin and falls like gently, like when you gently do it. It's a beautiful. It's hypnotic. It really is. It's soothing to watch.
And something, even things like when you're using it, you take and put it in your hand and put it in front of your submissives and tell them to smell the leather and trigger
Yes.
those sensories of the sense of smell and the eroticism and all that. So, I mean, it's not even, you don't even have to hit somebody with it. There's so many ways to use a flogger. That's that would undoubtedly be my number one toy, and if I could only have one.
I love that. That's a great answer. All right. We're wrapping it up, Mr. Cyan. We're all looking for something. Where do you want your kinky path to take you next?
What one more time, Nick?
Where do you want your kinky path to take you next?
Oh, down the road of immortality. No, no. I think where I wanted to take me basically is just expanding DomCon and making sure that it's an entity that is consistent in what it presents and what it delivers, and that the longevity will be there long after I'm gone.
I think you've accomplished that. And in my new book, I write about you, and I write about DomCon, and it's one of those things from it's a wish from a hospital bed kind of thing. So hopefully, I do my part to make you and DomCon, even Sanctuary, pretty legendary. I want it to be immortal. And Tanik, it means immortal in Polish, just so you know. So
for you.
Yeah, sure.
What's it going to take to get you out to LA in May?
In May?
Mm-hmm.
Well, an invitation. That would get me out there.
You'll get it. You'll get it. We'd love to have you out there doing some interviews and things. So Jay and I will take and be touching bases with you. I think we discussed.
Shout out to Jay. Shout out to Jay, boys. Oh my God, what a very talented. First of all, this person is talented. Yeah, an incredibly talented person. He's a fetish artist. This amazing work. Shout out to Jay. He actually hooked this whole interview up.
He's my publicist, and that for the last, oh my God, I don't even say how many years it's been now. I lost count, but he's a great publicist, and he's
oh Jay. Jay's the greatest. Jay's the coolest. Oh man. Yeah, I would love to go out there. And I do live shows now. I did a live show at Mischief Manor. We had an audience and everything. It's a big hit. It's very fun. And I bring surprises.
Well,
So, all right.
talk.
We are wrapping it up. Please complete this sentence, Mr. Cyan. Life is
everything that you make it.
right on. Life is everything that you make it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. How can people get in touch with you? How can people support you? Please, I mean, this whole thing has been promoting yourself, but what are the links and places that people can find you?
Mistress Cyan at gmail.com is the best way to get a hold of me. You know, I'm on FetLife, Blue Sky, Twitter, all those things, Facebook and everything else. But if you really want to reach me, go ahead and drop me an email. And I hope to anybody who wants to expand their network or their friendships or anything else can, show up to one of the DomCons or come out to Sanctuary and meet in person. And we always welcome the support online, getting out there and giving us a good shout out on social media and inviting everybody to join us with DomCon and Sanctuary.
Please. This show would not exist without you, Mr. Cyan, because a lot of my guests, I'd say, especially in the beginning, a lot of my guests were all Sanctuary LAX, right? People, we did shows from DomCon too, like from their hotel's room. We streamed from DomCon. This is all because of you, Mr. Cyan. Thank you. Thank you for everything you've done for the kink community. Thank you for inspiring not only me, but thank you for helping me inspire every single viewer and listener to this show. I recognize that. I appreciate it. I am honored that you're on my show. And with that being said, please help out the show. Patreon.com/YKF. Cash App. Here's my Cash App on the screen. Get 15% off all inventory at Locked and Lost. But most importantly, people, please read a book. Your Kinky Friends. This whole thing started because I wanted to promote this book. Take your broken heart, make it into art. This is all about coming out of the loss and death of my dom, and the kinky people helped me get through the hard times and inspired me to pick up a pen and write. Hope it resonates with you. And also, coolest way to kill yourself. No one kills themselves in the book. It's a metaphor. And it's a true story. It's a true love story filled with hard drugs, kinky sex, and an endless amount of music references. Mr. Cyan, thank you. I cannot thank you enough. Everybody, please go to DomCon, check out Sanctuary Studios LAX, and just support the kink community. Be a part of the solution. Don't be a part of the problem. Be cool, be kind, keep an open mind. Love you all.
Good night. Thank you.